Bawanico 1 through 3. What is good, my people? Happy Friday Eve. Today we have a special one. We're going to be reacting to Dave Black live at the Brit 2020 Awards. This was a request, however, the requester's name as well as the original request has gotten lost in the YouTube ether. My apologies. If you requested me to react to this song, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll pin your comment. But before we get into this reaction, make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, that noti bell. If you have any reaction requests, let me know down in the comments below, or you can DM me on my socials, which you can find in the description. We can now drop super thanks, one support the channel. I appreciate you. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Dale. Off the rip, like, I love the imagery that we have going on the stage. It's like pitch black with like speckles of just like bright white light, which sort of tells me this is gonna be like a song that is dark, but there will be light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's sort of what the scene is setting for me. You know what I mean? I'm getting into like looking at imagery in whether it's like videos or like live performances, because it always helps to push forward a narrative. So I've just been noticing that and just commenting on it. But let me know if you agree with me down in the comments below. I like that piano. It's pretty cool. That project no screen.
Black is beautiful, black is excellent. Black is
Facts.
pain, black is joy, black is evident. Working twice
Facts.
as hard as the people, you know you're better than, because you need to do double what they do so you can level them. Black is...
Listen, what he said right there is not a lie. I can't speak for the UK, but in the US, pay equity has just recently become a topic of conversation. And what that means is like people were being hired based off of their former pay, which never really allowed that person to be paid what the job is being worth. And by person, I mean people of color, especially women of color. And recently, within the last, I would say since the pandemic, been a topic of conversation, but we still have so much to do, and such a long way to go. And also too, like another thing is with like diversity, equity, and inclusion. Hiring for diversity for like a lot of organizations in the US, they use it as a means to sort of put themselves on a pedestal to say that, hey, like we're inclusive. We have a black leader, we have a black woman leader, we have an LGBTQ representation. We have women in leadership, but it's never a means to diversify organizational thought. And if you work for an organization that is hiring people of color and you're in a position where you're doing the hiring or you're involved in the hiring, and again, like you're using these people as a means to sort of set a narrative, then like shame on you. In all honesty, like I want you to wake up right now and keep this in mind moving forward. If you are hiring for diversity, use it as a means to diversify organizational thought, please. So that means that you're hiring people and putting them, hiring people, having conversations as a means to have a diverse conversation with representation for these different groups. You're not hiring people as a means to say like, hey, we're going to use this on our leaflet or whatever the case may be on LinkedIn to say like, look at us in this picture. We're all happy and diverse. Like, no, like, come on, stop it, please.
twice as hard as the people, you know you're better than, because you need to do double what they do so you can level them. Black is so
Facts.
much deeper than just African American. Our heritage been severed, you never got to experiment with family.
Facts. So Dave is Nigerian, I believe. So that statement from him, like our heritage is severed, I think he means that like he's speaking as black as like this monolithic group, which it is not. one of the things that I sort of struggle with is that, like, the word black in itself, like, I don't know what that means, because as a people, we're not a monolith. There's nothing really tying us in terms of like religion or language. Like, for instance, you guys know I'm Nigerian. I'm also also Puerto Rican. I'm also indigenous too. So, but the Hispanic side, there's language tying, myself with people in like Latin America, although they're Latinos and I'm Hispanic, which I'm not going to go into like why that's a difference. I'm not here to educate people in this one, but like there's a language tying me to that group. Like, um, you know, but on the sort of Nigerian black side, like my dad speaks Yoruba, and there's pidgin, of course, that allows all the tribes to sort of communicate and with each other. Um, but outside of that, Ghanaians, I think they also speak pidgin too. But like, what about the South Africans? Know what I mean? So like, there's no language tying us, and then like religion, there's no religion tying us either. So what is black? That is my question, because I don't know, and I'm to this day I'm still trying to figure that out, because for me, black is a term that's used in the U.S. to sort of just lump people that happen to be of African descent into like a one group, when that shouldn't be the case, because like, are Dominicans black, or are Dominicans Latino, or well, they're or Hispanic? Are Brazilians black, or are they Latinos? Are Cape Verdeans black, or are they Hispanic? You know what I mean? So like, it's I think that's what I mean. Like, it's just, when you really think about it and get into like the nitty gritty, it gets a little difficult, because especially when you start talking about like Northern Africans as well, and then like, yeah, it's what that's like I said. What is black? Hopefully, Dave will let us know.
Family trees, cause they teach you about famine and greed. Show you pictures of our fam on their knees. Tell us we used to be barbaric, we had actual queens. Black is watching child soldiers
Facts.
getting killed by other children, feeling sick so quick, this could have happened to me. Mommy watching,
Mm.
telling stories about your dad and your niece. Listen, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Kid dies, the blacker the killer, the sweeter the news. And if he's white, you give
Facts.
him a chance, he's ill and confused. If he's black, he's probably
Facts.
armed, you see him and shoot. Look, black is growing up around the barbershop. Mommy says stay away from trouble, you're in yard a lot. Studying for ages, appreciating the chance you got. Cause black is in your blood and you ain't even got the heart to stop. Black is stepping in for your brothers because your father's gone. Standing by your children when you haven't proven karma wrong. Black is doing
Black is supplicate for your father, but then he said standing in for your children. So I don't know. Let's to that bar again, because before I say something.
for ages, appreciating the chance you got. Cause black is in your blood and you ain't even got the heart to stop. Black is stepping in for your brothers because your father's gone. Standing by your children when you haven't proven karma wrong. Black is
Yeah, so he's saying right there to break the cycle, stepping in for your brothers because your father's gone. And then second verse is proving karma wrong. So he's gonna be the father that his father never was. I so with that statement, that's what black is. I For me, in my personal experience, that's not what black is, because my father, was with me since 0 years to present day. A lot of people that I know, it's the same situation. So in that case, black is from his perspective that, but from my perspective, it is not that. And that's what I mean by we have you know, differing perspectives. Again, like black not being a monolith. We're not, again, not, we're, I'm not gonna, I don't want to sort of be a means to pulling apart something, breaking the bond, because Dave is trying to unite, and my comments are sort of detracting from that. But I do want to say that, like, for me and a lot of people that I know in my experience, that's not what black is. But again, for as many people in my circle, there are just as many people outside of my circle where that actually might be their experience. So although I don't agree with Dave, I can understand what Dave is saying, and I think that's the most important thing is understanding.
Hard to stop. Black is stepping in for your brothers because your father's gone. Standing by your children when you haven't proven karma wrong. Black is doing all of the above, then going corner shop. Trying to help a lady cross the road to have her walking off. Black is growing up around.
Listen, that has happened to me where I wanted to help somebody who was like struggling carrying groceries, and they looked at me like I was trying around. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna keep walking then. Like I was trying to help you out. So what you said there, it's true, but I'm also like a big guy, so I can be a little. I can understand that could be a little intimidating.
Corner shop, trying to help a lady cross the road to have her walking off. Black is growing up around your family and making it. Being forced to leave the place you love because there's hate in it. People say you're faking it, never stay for changing it. But black is being jealous, you'd be dead if you had stayed in it. Black is struggling to find your history and tracing it. You don't know the truth about your race because they're erasing it. Black has got a really sour flavor, here's a taste of it. But black is all I know, there ain't a thing that I would change in it.
That's interesting. Ending 3 lines you did right there. Um, and that's intriguing for me because the life of a black person in the UK, I would say, is vastly different from somebody in the US. And depending upon where you live in the US, your experience would be vastly different within the same country. So like the comment about like him not knowing who he is, I just think that I find it to be so interesting because like again, he's Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, and like I know like what I know my heritage because my dad ensured that make sure that I knew my heritage. You know what I mean? You know, I'm American, but that's my nationality. That's not my ethnicity. Um, so, but for him, he's a Nigerian Brit. So again, like that comment of just like not knowing who he is for me is kind of it's mad because like all the Nigerians that I grew up around, even like the Ghanaians as well, like we all know like what it means to be Nigerian. We all know about as well as Ghana too. Like we all know about like our culture, like like our food. We all know how to, you know what I mean? Like I was, it's like having essentially having Nigeria in my house in the U.S. basically. Especially with my dad, man. Like trust me, he is a typical Nigerian father, and I mean that in the best way possible. Everything is like a story, a lesson, etc., etc., etc. If you know if you're Nigerian, you know what it's like to grow up as a Nigerian kid.
But here's a taste of it, but black is all I know, there ain't a thing that I would change in it. Look, black isn't a single colour, man, there's shades to it. Her hair's straight
Facts.
and thick, but mine's got waves in it. Black is not
Facts.
divisive, they've been lying and I'm hating it. Black has never been a competition, we're all making it. Black is deadly. Black is when you're freezing in your home and you can't get sleep, but never feeling empty cause you got 20 cousins in your country living stress-free, walking for their water daughter wrapped inside a bed sheet. Black is distant, it's representing countries that never even existed while your grandmother was living. Black is my Ghanaian brother reading into scriptures, doing research on his lineage, finding out that he's Egyptian. Black is people naming your countries and what they trade most. Coast of Ivory, Gold Coast, and the Grain Coast. But most importantly, to show how deep all of this pain goes, West Africa, Benin, they call it Slave Coast. Black is so confusing, cause the culture, they're in love with it. Take our features when they want and have their fun with it. Never seem to help with all the things you know will come with it. Loud in our laughter, silent in our suffering. Black is being strong inside.
That is very true. That is very, very true. And I think that's something that across all cultures is something that is true. I think that with like my generation, like millennials and like sort of like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, that is shifting in a sense that like we're not suffering in silence. Um, but that's not the case for for everybody, because like millennials we're a weird hodgepodge of like the old way of doing things and like the modern progressive way of doing things. Like we're a mix of all of that. But definitely for Gen Z, man, it's a completely different world where like they're not suffering in silence. They are still laughing loud though. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Loud in our laughter, silent in our suffering. Black is being strong inside the face of defeat. Poverty made me a beast. I battled the law in the streets. We all struggle, but your struggle ain't a struggle like me. Well, how could it be when your people gave us the odds that we beat? I mean, bloody hell. What about our brothers that are stuck in jail that couldn't bust the bell? They held a bird and got to live with it. Black is being guilty until proven that you're innocent. Black is saying free all of my people stuck inside them prison cells. Think it's funny we ain't got nothing to say to them. Unconditional love is strange to them. It's amazing. Black has really got the sweetest flavor. Here's a taste of it. But black is all I know. There ain't a thing that I would change in it. It is racist, whether or not it feels racist. The truth is, our prime ministers are.
That is a fact. Like whether or not you think is racist or not, that's the you can't kind of decide that. You know what I mean? It's the person who is receiving said treatment that falls in line with like racism. You kind of can't say, oh, that's not racist, but if you say something that is racist, but whether or not you mean it, racist, like in a racial sense or not, it's how the person takes it. So it's about their perspectives. That's why like a lot of times that we don't see outside of our own selves, and we're stubborn in our own thought. Um, which leads to like this discord. I think that a lot of people were just more open to like actually listen, not listening to respond, but like listening to understand. I think that would solve a lot of our problems.
Racist. The truth is, our prime ministers are real racist. They say you should be grateful we're the least racist. I say the least racist is still racist.
Facts.
And if somebody hasn't said it, equality's a right. It doesn't deserve credit. Now, if you
Yes, 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 Dave. Dave. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
and if somebody hasn't said it, equality's a right. It doesn't deserve credit. Now, if you
Oh my god, that is the realest bar I've heard ever. Ever. And I listen to a lot of music. That bar Dave just spit is the realest thing I've ever heard in my existence. He needs to say it one more time for the people in the back. They didn't hear him. They did not hear him.
still racist, and if somebody hasn't said it, equality's a right. It doesn't deserve credit. Now, if you don't want to get it, then you're never gonna get how the news treats Kate versus how they treated Meghan. Rest in peace, Jack Merritt. You're my brother in arms. There's tears in our eyes and love in our hearts. We never had the same background, culture, color, or past, but you devoted your life to giving others a chance, and for that, I'm so taken aback because he gave us all a voice. I have to say it for Jack. As a young black man that's seen paper and crack, giving tougher sentences, it's just paper and cracks. All he would want is unity, funding for communities, equal opportunities, people under scrutiny, no more immunity, way less hatred, more conservation, less deforestation. We want rehabilitation. Now that would be amazing. But Grenfell victims still need accommodation, and we still need support for the Windrush generation, reparations for the time our people spent on plantations. I'm done.
Bravo, 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 Dave. Santon Dave. Black. Live. The 2020 Brit Awards, man. Like, this right here is why I say Dave, for me, is the number one UK rapper and the number two rapper for me globally. All the artists in the world, all the rappers out there across all different countries got some amazing rappers, man. Whether it's in Nigeria, whether it's in the US, the UK, You got the island rappers, man. We got the K-pop rap, sorry, not K-pop, the K rappers, the J rappers. Dave for me, man, beats out all of those people as my number two. And I don't say that's number two as like a dig or a diss. Like the only reason why he's not number one is because Lil Wayne exists. If Lil Wayne did not exist, Dave would be number one for me. And I say that with like the highest form of like just he is that guy, man. Dave is that guy. Like for him to be able to put together this song, the way he did it so eloquently, speaking about his perspective of what black is and how it applies to like so many different people, situations. Some of the stuff he said that I agree with, some of the stuff I don't agree with. But at the same time, man, like he told me a story which helped me to understand where he was coming from. And by him doing that, I can say, like, you know what? My experience is different, but I understand your struggle and how you lived, how you're living, what it's like to be a black person in the UK. Like I get it, man. But and this is one of those videos, man, that gets you introspective, gets you thinking about your situation, how you grew up, how you live, your family, your what Dave does to me, man. This is what Dave does to me. If he does this to you as well, make sure you hit that like button for Dave, that subscribe button for me, that noti bell as well for the both of us. I mean, listen, you guys know, man, how I am. If we leave this video, hit all three buttons. I will see you next video, my people. Enjoy your day. Stay blessed. Peace.